The Garrisons getting into the Malvern Banks Super Late Model Series with Justin Zeitner. Ben Schaller won a feature win last year. That came at the US 30 Speedway in Columbus, Nebraska. So here we go. Mike Wallace and Mike Benson in row one. They'll get us started for Speedway Motors Heat Race number 1. Off of 4, we're underway. Into 1, the early advantage will go to Benson as the field storms in there. 3 wide back there for the 4th spot as Bienhoff nearly jumps the cushion off of turn number 2. Benson with the early race lead while Matt Buller runs in second. Buller with a big move to the inside off of turn number 4. Side by side for the race lead off of 4. Benson has it by half a car length. Into 1, Buller staying true to the inside lane as they go through 1 and 2 this time on lap 2. Benson continues to show the way, but we got trouble in turn 2. Zach Zeitner loops it around at the top. Buller looks to the inside, but that's not going to happen. Caution is going to come out. Caution on the speedway for the 76 of Zach Zeitner. Zach loops it around by his lonesome over in turn number 2, and we are under yellow flag conditions for the first time. 27th, the Malvern Banks Super Late Model Series will be right across the street at Raceway Park. We hope to see you there. Caution lights go out. Mike Benson will lead the single file field back down to the green flag. Here we go. Buller this time looks to the top shelf while Zeitner goes to the bottom entering turn 1. The ones cannot deal with the 71 of Benson. The Dr. Allison Benson MD number 71 looking strong. Here goes Zeitner. A little bit of contact between himself and Buller. Everyone stays going in the right direction. Buller keeps the second spot at the flag stand. Another number 1 just about ready to enter the picture. Buller, big run off the top, and the Henderson Hustler takes over the lead. A little bit of sideways action off at turn number 2. Jason O'Brien got a little squirrely. More trouble for Zeitner. Big puff of smoke out of the back of the 76. Possibly the motor has just gone up in smoke for the 76 machine as he takes it to the top part of the speedway. Zeitner will now duck it into the infield. We stay green. Battle for second as Justin Zeitner looks to the inside of Mike Benson for second. Big dive bomb move. Slides up the track off of turn number 4. Zeitner has the second spot coming off of 4 this time. Justin Zeitner now up to second. Meanwhile, Jason O'Brien from the tail up to the 4th spot. Battle for 5th between Schaller and Bienhoff. Schaller with the advantage off the bottom of 2. This time around, we'll be halfway home in this one. Matt Buller, your race leader. Justin Zeitner runs second. Jason O'Brien runs 3rd. Mike Benson is 4th. Ben Schaller, your top 5. Then it's Nick Bienhoff running 6th. Mike Wallace is 7th. And Tyler Smith runs 8th. Last car in the running order. And now, trouble for Benson. He gets stormed as he loses 3 spots to O'Brien, Schaller, and Bienhoff. Jason O'Brien from the tail up to the 3rd spot now. Very valuable passing points for the 15 machine out of Atlantic, Iowa. Now Nick Bienhoff looks to the inside of Schaller. Pair of MB Custom chassis going at it for the 4th spot. Schaller the 98, Bienhoff the number 1. Schaller goes to the bottom. He'll slide up the track in 4. Good protection maneuver by the 98. Justin Zeitner continuing to work the top shelf to his liking, able to keep the 15 of O'Brien behind him. This time around, 2 flags are up, 2 to go for your race leader, Matt Buller. Justin Zeitner running in that second position with Jason O'Brien running 3rd. Field has fanned out across the Park Jefferson Speedway. This time around, starter Larry White will give the white flag. 4/10 of a mile to go for Henderson, Nebraska's Matt Buller. Zeitner in his first Malvern Banks Series start for the GRT house machine. Looking good here in heat race number 1. But off of turn number 4 for the final time, Matt Buller will take Speedway Motors heat race number 1 here at Park Jefferson. Battle for the 2nd spot at the line. Zeitner's going to hang on. Jason O'Brien is 3rd. Ben Schaller 4th. Nick Bienhoff 5th. Then it will be Mike Benson in the 6th spot. And battle for 7th. Nearly a dead heat for 7th. The race fans, give it up for him. Your heat race winner out of Henderson, Nebraska, driving the I-80 Farm, Swartz Chassis, H&H Racing, Grove Power, S&S Septic Service, Perfect Circle Irrigation. Number 1, let him hear ya, Matt Buller. Jake Neal already a winner on the Gales Gold Rush Super Late Model Series. Picked up the win last week out at the Shelby County Speedway. Tad Pospischel, also a winner on the Gales Gold Rush Series. Picked up the season opener at the I-80 Speedway. Here we go. Caution lights are out. Jake Neal and Dan Battaglia will get us started. We go green. Neal with the advantage as the field stampedes into turn number 1 the first time. Pospisil on the bottom will take the second spot from Battaglia. 2 and almost 3 wide down the back straightaway as Lovejoy and Layton continuing to work the low side. Here comes Pospisil off the bottom, but the ripper Jake Neal leads lap 1. Tad Pospisil right there with them as they go into turn 1 this time. Pospisil and Neal side by side, nose piece advantage, and now full car advantage for Pospisil. He's your new leader. Tad Pospisil takes over the number 1 position. Jake Neal back to second. Big run by Vic Lovejoy off the bottom. Lovejoy takes over the 3rd position. Gary Brown Jr. back in 4th, and Bill Layton Jr. just overtaking Dan Battaglia for the 5th position. Battaglia goes to the top of the track off of turn number 1, and here comes Brad Perdue trying to pick off Mylander. Battle for 3rd starting to shape up as Gary Brown Jr. closing in on the 2V of Lovejoy. But right now, Tad Pospisil right around the bottom. He is on a rail. Jake Neal running 2nd. Vic Lovejoy runs 3rd. Gary Brown Jr. is 4th. Bill Layton Jr. your top 5. Then it's Brad Perdue in 6th. Dan Battaglia 7th, and Bob Mylander running 8th. Tad Pospisil, a couple of top 5 finishes in his career here at the Park Jefferson Speedway. Still looking for that first career win here on this 4/10 mile oval. Could he change that tonight? Halfway home in this one. 5 laps down, 5 laps to go. Pospisil remains your leader. It looks like Vic Lovejoy was able to avoid Gary Brown's attack a few laps earlier. Now Bill Layton Jr. starting to close the gap on Brown for the 4th spot. Keep your eyes on positions 3rd through 5th. There could be a battle for position as the race winds down. Here comes Layton. Layton starting to close that gap on Brown. Meanwhile, Brown taking a look to the inside of Lovejoy as they go into turn 1. Lovejoy stays strong through the middle. He'll keep the 3rd spot for the time being. Meanwhile, Layton continuing to dig on the low side, slides to the top, and now back to the bottom of 3 and 4. Here we go. Battle for 4th is shaping up between Brown and Layton. Brown continuing to work that low side to deny Layton, but he gets squirrely off at turn number 2. Here comes Layton. He pulls up a side and pokes the nose in front. 2 laps to go this time as Tad Pospisil blazes past the flag stand off of 4. Layton, good move off the bottom, and by about half a car length, he and Brown had it. A little bit of contact there, but Layton had the spot. Brown back around the outside. He takes back the 4th spot as the white flag flies. Final lap here in heat race number 2 as Bill Layton Jr. continues to work the low side. Gary Brown up top. Into turn number 3 for the final time. Checker flag is set to fly. Here comes your winner of Kaiser Manufacturing heat race number 2. Tad Pospisil will take it. 2nd place will go to Jake Neal. Coming off of turn number 4, 3rd place will go to Vic Lovejoy. Gary Brown Jr. 4th. Bill Layton Jr. your top 5. Then it's Brad Perdue finishing in 6th. Battle for 7th coming off of 4 right now. Dan Battaglia will take that, and Bob Mylander rounds out the field. So give it up for him, race fans. Your winner, your defending Malvern Bank Series champion from Norfolk, Nebraska in the Signer Trucking, Window World, Sea High Associates, Cookies Barbecue Sauce, Club 29 chassis number 04. Let him hear ya, Tad Pospisil. 53 on the outside, Andrew Koziski. His father, Joe, the winningest driver in the history of the Park Jefferson International Speedway.
My fault, Lisa.
Andrew Koziski, 1 career Malvern Bank Super Late Model Series win. He has 3 Super Late Model wins in his career. Could he get number 4 tonight? The Koziskis will get us started. Off of 4, green flag is up. Here we go. 52 and 53. How many times have we seen this throughout the late model history here in Nebraska and the Midwest? Brian on the bottom, Andrew up top. The Koziskis are side by side for the race lead. Josh Krug is right there with them on the bottom. Kyle Burke waiting in the mist as Andrew Koziski leads the opening lap. Andrew Koziski leads it over Brian, and here comes Burke. Look to the inside off at turn number 2. Burke, a big slingshot move off the bottom, and he gets past Josh Krug for the 3rd spot. The Aurora Cooperative number 14 looking strong as he usually does here on the Malvern Bank Series Tour. Burke looking to the inside of Koziski for the 2nd spot. A pair of missile chassis going at it for the number 2 position. Burke on the bottom, Kosiski up top. On the bottom, Burke pokes the nose piece in front of Kosiski. Slide job coming off a 4, and the Marquette missile takes over second. Kyle Burke already up to the number 2 position as Andrew Kosiski continues to show the fast way around Park Jefferson. Kosiski down to the inside. Brian Kosiski looking good on the bottom as they go into turn 3. Kyle Burke and Brian Kosiski having a great battle for that second spot. Josh Krug remains in the 4th position. Andrew Kosiski remains your leader. Kyle Burke runs second. Brian Kosiski is 3rd. Josh Krug is 4th. Corey Zeitner, your top 5. Jason Wallace running in 6th. Nate Beinhoff is 7th. And Steve McConnell runs 8th. Halfway home. 5 laps down. 5 laps to go here in Dynamic Drivelines Heat Race number 3. Now Krug with a big run off the bottom at 2. The Blue Bandit takes over the 3rd spot. He picks off Brian Kosiski for the final podium position. Wind starting to pick up immensely here at the Park Jefferson Speedway as Andrew Kosiski continues to show the fast way around. Kyle Burke in that 2nd spot. Meanwhile, the top shelf starting to become favorites off the exit of 2. The bottom looking good through 3 and 4. 3 laps to go this time, soon to be 2 to go the next time around. Andrew Kosiski out in front with Kyle Burke trying everything in his power to chase him down. This time around, 2 flags will be up. 2 laps to go for Andrew Kosiski, trying to seal the deal here on heat race number 3. Corey Zeitner now with the work on the outside lane, trying to get around Brian Kosiski at the line. It's a dead heat there as Zeitner works to the top, and he'll pick off Kosiski for 4th. Momentarily, I should say, is Kosiski not giving up the fight as the white flag comes out. Final lap. Andrew Kosiski continuing to show the fast way around, and now Zeitner officially takes over the 4th spot. Down the back straightaway they go and into 3 for the final time. Checker flag is going to fly. Here comes your winner. Andrew Kosiski will take Dynamic Drivelines Heat Race number 3. Kyle Burke will finish 2nd. Josh Krug will come home 3rd. Corey Zeitner is 4th. Brian Kosiski, your top 5. Nate Beinhoff coming around to finish 6th. Looks like 7th will go to Jason Wallace, and Steve McConnell will round out the field in 8th. So how about it, race fans? Give it up for him. Your winner out of La Vista, Nebraska, in the All Makes Collision Center Certified Transmission, Kosiski Auto Parts, Select Auto Dealers, MB Custom Chassis, number 53, your winner, Andrew Kosiski.
Yeah, they're good.
Go ahead, move them up, guys.
Brian Kosiski's last win coming at the US 30 Speedway back in 2015. Here we go. Caution lights are out.
10 laps, guys.
It's time to go. 10 laps, 1 chance for one last dance here at the Park Jefferson Speedway. Brian Kosiski and Brad Perdue will get us started. Off of 4, green flag is up. Here we go. Perdue and Kosiski lead the stampede into turn number 1 the first time around. Advantage goes to Perdue as Beinhoff able to fend off Benson down the back straightaway and into 3. Brad Perdue, the Jenny Edmondson Methodist Cancer Center, 25, shows the way. Heavy contact between Bob Mylander and Mike Wallace. They keep going. We stay green. Lap 1 goes to Brad Perdue. Here goes Kosiski to the bottom off the exit of 2. Can't make the pass. Perdue maintains the lead. Kosiski in 2nd. Both of them in transferring positions for the time being. Mike Benson, your current 4th place runner, we have a caution. Caution on the speedway, a good piece, looks like a piece of tubing on the front stretch.
Okay, guys, get single file. Get single file and come high. We got debris on the front stretch. Single file.
Benson, right now the last one in. Steve McConnell, the first one out. Brad Perdue will bring the single file field back down to the green flag. Brian Kosiski poking the nose piece underneath Perdue as they go through 1 and 2, and Perdue able to slingshot around through the middle and break away from Kosiski as they go through 3 and 4. Kosiski quick to make that ground up between turns 3 and 4, but Perdue able to keep a pretty steady advantage. A lot of shuffling around in the back of the pack. Bob Mylander trying to work his way around Jason Wallace. Wallace gets pinched. He gets sideways. Good save, but it cost him a spot. Jason Wallace will fall to the rear. Meanwhile, Brad Perdue showing the fast way around. Brian Kosiski is second, Nate Beinhoff third. Mike Benson in that fourth and final transfer spot. Steve McConnell runs fifth. Tyler Smith is sixth. Bob Mylander seventh. Mike Wallace eighth. And Jason Wallace ninth. Kosiski continuing to try to chase down the 25 of Perdue. But the Council Bluffs native not showing any mercy. Perdue right through the middle of 1 and 2. Late models are handling this track very well with the fresh water that was thrown out during the delay. They're looking good right now. Tyler Smith in his Park Jefferson Speedway debut looking to the inside of Steve McConnell. That's for the fifth spot. Smith to the bottom. McConnell right through the middle of 1 and 2. But right now, Kosiski, big run by the 52, but not enough to make a move on Perdue. That's the battle for the race lead as they go into turn 1. Perdue right through the middle this time. Kosiski about half a groove higher. And Perdue gets the better run off the exit. Field has fanned out across the Park Jefferson Speedway. Brad Perdue continues to show the lead. Brian Kosiski running in the second spot. Nate Beinhoff in third. Mike Benson continues to be your fourth and final transfer spot holder. Steve McConnell runs fifth. Tyler Smith. And now a battle for seventh between Mike Wallace and Mylander. Wallace forces him up. Oh, and Jason Wallace gets into Mylander. And Mylander gets shuffled back to ninth. And trouble for Tyler Smith right up the top. He drives way up to the top of the track in turn number 4. So does Mike Wallace. Here goes Jason Wallace back to the inside. This time around, white flag is out. Final lap. Brian Kosiski trying to do everything in his power to hunt down Perdue. Both drivers are in a transferring position. Off of 2. Perdue shows the way into turn number 3 for the final time. Checker flag is going to fly. Perdue checks up. Kosiski tries to make the move at the line. Perdue hangs on for the win. Brian Kosiski, Nate Beinhoff is third. And Mike Benson will be your fourth and final transfer spot. Steve McConnell will finish fifth. Sixth will be Tyler Smith. Seventh will be Mike Wallace. Eighth will be Jason Wallace. And Bob Mylander rounds out the field. So your drivers moving on into tonight's Zeitner & Sons main event. The 71 of Mike Benson, the 51 of Nate Beinhoff, the 52 of Brian Kosiski, and your winner, race fans. Give them a round of applause from Council Bluffs, Iowa. In the Bluffs Sewing and Vacuum Heartland Properties, Jenny Edmondson Methodist Cancer Center, number 25. Let them hear ya, Brad Perdue. Justin Zeitner and Kyle Burke, row 1. Andrew Kosiski, Matt Buller, row 2. Tad Pospischel, Jason O'Brien, row 3. Jake Neal, Vic Lovejoy, row 4. Corey Zeitner, Josh Krug, row 5. Ben Schaller, Gary Brown Jr. in row 6. Bill Ayton Jr., Nick Beinhoff, Brad Perdue, Brian Kosiski, Nick Beinhoff, Mike Benson, Steve McConnell, and Bob Mylander.
Where it would bring over my
Field goes slow through 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Our Zeitner & Sons main event is underway. Into 1 the first time around, side by side for the race lead. Justin Zeitner off the bottom will take the race lead down the back straightaway and into 3. Kyle Burke will fall back into the second spot with Andrew Kosiski in hot pursuit. Off of 1, lap 1 will go to Justin Zeitner. Justin Zeitner the leader after 1, while Kyle Burke runs in second. Kosiski slides up the track, and Tad Pospischel takes over the third spot off the exit of 2. Pospischel up to the third position. Meanwhile, Jason O'Brien and Matt Buller having a great battle for that fifth spot. Buller hangs on to it for the time being as O'Brien continues to dig on the low side. O'Brien pokes the nose piece underneath Buller but can't make a pass. Top 7 single file, make that top 9 single file as the field continues to file out. Justin Zeitner in car number 1, looking strong here. The Garrison Racing Technologies number 1 looking strong early on. Here comes Kyle Burke looking to make a move. Burke goes to the inside, and Zeitner gets a little squirrely off of 4, but Zeitner will keep the lead at the line. Here comes Tad Pospischel into the mix. Burke to the low side as they enter turn 1. Zeitner, the car pushes a little bit into 2. Burke is going to pull up a side. Battle for the lead down the backstretch and into 3. Burke pokes the nose piece again. Through 3 and 4, they're still side by side at the line. Zeitner still your leader by just about a car length. Burke continuing to apply the pressure on the low side. Tad Pospisil is following him on the bottom. Zeitner running the middle and the low and the middle to the top to his liking. Slides up the track again off of 4, getting a good run. Now Zeitner starting to separate once again from Burke. Justin Zeitner looking strong here in our first main event of the 2018 season. Kyle Burke trying to chase him down. Zeitner again sideways in 4. Here comes Burke. This time half a car length at the line for Zeitner. Zeitner was able to recover fast enough to keep the lead at the flag stand. Kyle Burke trying to apply more pressure as they go down the backstretch. Side by side, slight nose piece poke for the 14 of Burke. Off of 4 this time, they're still side by side at the line. I think that time possibly Burke was still, that time was the leader. Off of the bottom of 2, Kyle Burke is going to poke and take the lead down the back straightaway. Kyle Burke now out in front. Kyle Burke able to take the lead that time by Justin Zeitner back to the 2nd spot while Tad Pospisil runs in 3rd. Caution free so far here at Park Jefferson. Andrew Kosiski back in that 4th spot. Jason O'Brien our top 5. Matt Buller runs 6th. Jake Neal is 7th. Corey Zeitner 8th. Ben Schaller 9th. And Josh Krug rounding out the top 10. Nick Bienhoff already up to the 11th spot. And now Bienhoff up and over the edge in turn number 4. Good save, but he'll lose about 3 spots. Kyle Burke still out in front and now into lap traffic. Already put Mike Benson a lap down. Now trying to put Mob Mylander a lap down. A lap car between your leader and 2nd place Justin Zeitner. Kyle Burke looking to add to his win total. He's the all-time wins leader on the Malvern Banks Super Late Model Series. Justin Zeitner looking to get his 2nd career Malvern Banks Series win. It looks like trouble for Steve McConnell. He is slow going down the front straightaway, trying to take the car off the racetrack. He will do so. We stay green. Halfway home, 13 down, 12 to go. Kyle Burke, your leader. Justin Zeitner running 2nd. Tad Pospisil is 3rd. Andrew Kaczynski 4th. Jason O'Brien, your top 5. Top 5 has not changed at all. Matt Buller remains 6th. Jake Neal is 7th. Corey Zeitner 8th. Ben Schaller 9th. Josh Krug rounds out your top 10. Bill Layton Jr. is 11th. Vic Lovejoy is 12th. Nick Bienhoff is 13th. Brian Kaczynski 14th. Make that 15th now as he just surrendered the 14th position to Gary Brown Jr. Kyle Burke now about a straightaway ahead of 2nd place Justin Zeitner and Tad Pospisil. They're having a great battle for that runner-up position. Kyle Burke a little bit of clean racetrack ahead of him, but in the next couple of laps he'll run into more lap traffic. Next car to go a lap down will be the 25 of Brad Perdue. So far, only one retiree. Trouble for Corey Zeitner. Zeitner is slow down the front straightaway. He takes the 26 junior into the infield. We stay green. Corey Zeitner, I believe running in the 7th spot at the time, has dropped it into the infield. Actually, Corey Zeitner, your 8th place runner, dropped it into the infield that last lap. Kyle Burke continuing to show the way here. Justin Zeitner doing everything in his power to hold off the 04 of Pospisil. And now Nate Bienhoff lap traffic as he went over the edge on the back straightaway. Kyle Burke quick to put Bienhoff a lap down. Bienhoff continuing to fight on the outside lane, not ready to go down a lap that easily. Burke continuing to work the inside line to his liking. Burke continuing to work that inside line through 3 and 4. The lap traffic staying out of his way for the time being. As the laps continue to click off here at the Park Jefferson Speedway, Burke remains your leader, but now lap traffic is starting to create a bit of a roadblock. Justin Zeitner trying to reel him in, but Burke is really strong right on the bottom. Heavy lap traffic for the 14 right ahead of him, as now Bienhoff will go a lap down. Brad Perdue is going to be the next one to go a lap down, but Perdue is right in Burke's line. Burke will have to go to the top, drops the right rear over the cushion for the time being, gets back to the low side, and that's going to allow Zeitner to close in a little bit. Burke able to keep a lap car between himself and second place, but meanwhile, battle for second rages on. Justin Zeitner and Tad Pospischel. Pospischel underneath Zeitner, couldn't make a move. Couldn't quite get the pass made on the one of Zeitner. Zeitner keeps the second spot, but lap traffic is becoming a factor. Burke is right behind Purdue, and that battle for second is closing in. Burke will now have to go to the top shelf to get around Brad Purdue. He will do so. 2 lap cars between your leader and second place. This time around, only 2 laps to go. Justin Zeitner, a huge move to get through lap traffic. Gets by Beinhoff, gets around Purdue, and he's going to go after Burke for the lead. Car pushes in turn 1. That's going to be trouble. Here comes Pospischel back to the inside. He'll use the lap car of Brad Purdue in a pick and roll. Zeitner maintains the second spot as Kyle Burke takes the white flag. Final time around Park Jefferson for the Marquette Missile. The all-time winningest driver in the Malvern Banks Super Late Model Series will add another one. His second in 4 years at Park Jefferson. Kyle Burke wins the Zeitner & Sons main event here at Park Jefferson. Justin Zeitner barely hangs on for second. Tad Pospischel is third. Andrew Kaczynski is fourth. Jason O'Brien, your top 5. Ben Schaller is 6th. Matt Buller 7th. Jake Neal is 8th. Josh Krug 9th. And Nick Beinhoff rounds out your top 10.
Well, how about that? 25 laps of green flag feature racing, green to checkered here for the Malvern Banks Super Late Model Series. Anthony working his way down into the infield area. Might have a little trouble with the door because Stone Cold Rod Olson couldn't get it open a little bit earlier.
Getting the helmet off. Join them down here in our Malvern Bank victory lane. The Aurora Cooperative Strobel Manufacturers Preferred Popcorn Scott Bailey Powered Missile Chassis. There, he's got the engine turned off. The all-time winningest driver in the history of the Malvern Banks Super Late Model Series adds another one, his second of the past 4 years here at Park Jefferson. Crew coming down here to meet him in victory lane. Battled the elements, stuck it out. He's out of the car, race fans. Let him hear you. Your winner, Kyle Burke. Kyle, come on around here. Let's say battling the elements is never fun. But nonetheless, you not only had to battle the rain, but Justin Zeitner gave you a good run there. Congratulations on another job well done here in South Dakota.
Well, a heck of a racetrack. There was slick, tacky, but it was smooth. That's an aggressive, fun racetrack right there. I was all over the place, and lap cars were starting to pass me back on the outside, and I didn't know where to be, and I couldn't see anybody signaling. That race went by fast. This new missile chassis, we struggled last week with it opening weekend for us, but tonight we tuned her in, and it felt really, really good. And Scott Bailey is making some good power, and everything's clicking.
Well, now we take about 2 weeks off. After that, we have a big 3-day swing. We start in Rock Rapids, Iowa on the 25th. Then we head over to Off-Road Speedway, and then we head just across the street to Raceway Park on the 27th. Those 2 weeks, those are going to be very important for you to get this car dialed in, especially for 3 big days on the road.
Well, no doubt about it. It's going to be an extremely tough season. We got to fill the cars like we've never had in a series before, which is good. But I know that. I've been here a long time, and the level of equipment and the level of talent and the drivers, it goes really deep in the field. So it's going to be a tough season, no doubt.
A lot of great fans up here in South Dakota, but hey, how about it? Another big win here on a track that served you pretty well.
It certainly has. Thank you all for coming out.
Race fans, your winner in the Zeitner & Sons Transport A main event from Marquette, Nebraska. Car number 14, the Marquette Missile, Kyle Burke.